Oh my god, she looked at the camera. I hate this episode now. This episode sucks. MAPPA sucks. Attack on Titan is terrible. Hey everyone, I'm finally back. My cold is completely gone. Yeah, I was pretty sick, but this always happens when the climate changes. I'm like Kaguya from Kaguya-sama. When the climate shifts, I just become sick. And also the fact that it's extremely hot and I go to college via biking and spend like 4 hours in college, then bike back in the afternoon in the extreme heat, and then come back and then go to the gym and then come back to make videos and then sleep only for like 5 hours. I might be overworking myself a bit, but I'll try to tone it down because, you know, like I'm in the final year of my college right now and my YouTube, it's building. I'm getting a few hundred views now, better than a few 10 views that I used to get. I guess I'll start skipping college more because YouTube is clearly more important. Even after I was knocked out by the cold, I was kind of fine with it because I had recorded the review for this video. I also recorded a reaction that I just didn't upload because the review wasn't ready, and I want people to watch the review right after they watch the reaction. That's the whole purpose of why I make reactions in the first place. So the reaction is ready, and I would have uploaded like back in Tuesday or Wednesday whenever I recorded it, and I recorded the review the same day, but when I was recording the review my computer crashed and I was totally fine with it. I mean, MKV master race. I won't lose any of my data. The video will play perfectly till the point the computer crashed. And I fell sick. I was fine with it. I have a lot of videos to edit, including this one. And I opened the video. It's MP4 and not MKV. So I guess updating OBS changed my settings, I guess, and it turned to MP4 automatically. And that is why you haven't gotten the review video for so long. It was ready. I had talked about everything that there is to talk about, but I mean, honestly, it's fine because I've got more insight now, but it's not going to be the usual review that I post or make immediately after I watch an episode. Like, those are totally unscripted. Here I've gotten a bit more time to prepare the review, though there is no script. I never use scripts. Everything I just say is just on the spot. But that's also why it's very time inefficient, because I have to use multiple takes of every single scene. Let's get into the episode review now. There's one thing I really want to talk about, and that's the backlash that this episode received by the fans that I just looked at Analyst and My Anime List. Ironically enough, My Anime List was lesser toxic and Analyst was more toxic this time. Usually it's the other way around. But there are particularly one idiot in Analyst who's just spouting nonsense. I'm not gonna say their username for obvious reasons. It's so easy to just send private messages in Analyst, so I don't want to be the cause for someone getting harassed, even though this idiot probably deserves it because he's doing it to get harassed. He's doing it for attention, but I'm not gonna fall for his trap, basically, or her trap, I don't know. So I really thought they would be critiquing about the important things, like Magat's character development. I don't like Magat's character development. I did not feel the least bit emotional when Magat died. I felt bad about Sherida's dying, but Magat's death was just, okay, he's dead now. He was an extreme racist a couple of episodes ago, and then he looked at Gabi and he was like, oh, I'm no longer racist. It was just an extremely abrupt, forced character development, and it's not because it's quick. Don't get me wrong. Quick character developments can be good. Look at Canute in Vinland Saga. That's less of a character development and more of the character just coming into conclusion with who he's supposed to be. But that was super quick. It happened in a span of one episode. It was built up with a couple of episodes, just like Magat's character development. But the real character growth happened in a single episode, and the same happened with Magat. But in Magat's case, it's just poorly executed. Nothing like Canute from Vinland Saga. I'll go about that thing in detail, but yeah, that's what I was expecting people to be critiquing. But no, people were talking about completely redundant bullshit, like Mikasa looking at the camera. I really like that scene. I don't know why that scene is so hated for some reason. People are calling it cringy. I don't think it's cringy at all. I think it's a pretty badass scene. If anything, Eren wearing his coat in slow motion should be just as cringy to to these people, but anyone doing anything is fine, except if it's Mikasa. I don't know why people dislike Mikasa in a weird way. It's really weird. Mikasa being badass was a really cool scene, and I really liked it. It was animated by an animator named Wope. I will be talking about that. But yeah, I mean, I guess people are just morons. Oh, why did she blow them up after clearly killing them? That is so overkill and just done for style points. So cringy. No, she blew up the Thunder Spears because literally a couple of seconds ago, Floch almost thwarted all of their plans by almost exploding their ship using a Thunder Spears. Just thanks to Gabi and her aimbot that Floch failed, but you can't really depend on Gabi all the time. You can, but yeah, it makes sense to destroy all of the Thunder Spears that you come across. That's all it is, not about style points. If you think it's about style points, it's because you are cringy and you perceive this in a cringy way. And the same idiot was also talking about Michael Bay explosions. They're shooting Titans with Thunder Spears. Of course there's going to be explosions. Are you a fucking moron? Are you lacking in intellect so much that you can't even figure out why there are explosions when an explosive object explodes? And it's not ugly looking explosions like the one in 86. These are really well-drawn, hand-drawn explosions. And I guess that's somehow an issue. No, it's beautiful 2D effects animation. I really like the explosions. All the explosions in Attack on Titan, it's pretty much the highlight because it's so well animated. And people are complaining, calling it Michael Bay, because all explosions are Michael Bay stuff. It's weird. Some people just don't deserve to have opinions. But we can only do either of these two things. We can either ignore them or to laugh at them. These people are the literal definition of haters. But they use the argument, it's just my opinion, bro, to hide their hate with like a shroud of criticism. It's not criticism if it's not constructive. It's just bullshit. Sorry about the rant. That's not what these videos are usually about. It's usually about reviewing the episode at hand. But this thing just tickled my butthole the wrong way, so I just wanted to talk about it. But actually, let's start talking about the episode. How was the episode? Animation-wise, this was Season 1 quality. It's not full Sakuga because they really cannot afford full Sakuga episodes, with considering what kind of production schedules they have. But it truly is a testament to how far Japanese animation studios have come. Because the best scenes in this episode, like the two best scenes in this episode, were not done by Japanese animators, and we see more and more foreign webgen animators working on anime, and that's just gonna keep increasing in the future with how prevalent social media has become. And it's great, but it's also not very good for the industry. Kevin made a very good article on how it's actually affecting the industry in a negative way. I might make a video on the whole topic, but if you want to read about it, I'll put the link in the description. It's a really good article. I really recommend reading this shit. Some people ask me how I gain knowledge about the industry. It's through reading articles from more knowledgeable people. It really is that simple. Getting sidelined again, but yeah, the two best scenes, animated by Q-Kawa and Wope. Q-Kawa, always incredible, and Wope, a new animator, who I will talk about. How's the compositing? Most of the time it does its job. There's one scene where it's just kind of iffy, but it's not because of the bad textures, it's not because of blur filters, it's just because of 3D. The 3D background did not look very good. It didn't look well mixed with the foreground. I'll talk about the scene where I get there, but overall the compositing was pretty good. The animation was absolutely fantastic, easily the best animated episode by MAPPA's Attack on Titan so far, and it beats many episodes that Wit Studios made as well. So let us begin. I'm really apologize if my ceiling fan is loud and you can hear the fucking that sound, but hey, there's nothing I can do. It's like, I don't know, 35 degrees Celsius. I don't know what the temperature is exactly, but it's pretty hot. So this is where this episode portion begins, and boy, that eye detail. I talk about it all the time with Attack on Titan. It's been the case even with Wit Studios' Attack on Titan. I always say that because otherwise people be saying, MAPPA's eye detail is not the only good eye detail. Wit Studio also had good eye detail. Yeah, this is absolutely incredible. I can see all of the fucking fibers in there. It is so beautiful. Gorgeous. Probably my favorite eye shot in this show so far. And that says a lot. It's Attack on Titan. And yeah, Samu has 3 holes in his face and 1 hole in his calf muscles. OGs will know that reference. But yeah, no time to cope. Boom. Immediately, the action in the background. Really dope. The 2D and 3D switch-ups in this episode is really well done. Right now, the female Titan is 3D, and female Titan's 3D model, absolutely incredible. Probably the best Titan 3D model in the show so far. And that was 3D, and now we get a look at the 2D female Titan. A lot of blurring here, but the blurring is fine because if you see the animation itself, there's very little smears. So if there's little smears, you just use blurs. And I don't really mind blurring if it actually has a reason. But most of the times in Attack on Titan, it does not have a reason. That's why I dislike it. In this case, it clearly does have a reason. Sense of scale is really well done here. Her movements are quite slow. Nice cubic debris, but then it's again blurred out. This blurring is quite unnecessary. They could have just had that scene unblurred and would be totally fine. Again, really good CGI animation. And the background here, again, CGI background, mixes really well with the foreground. Which is also CGI, right? Yeah, the 2 people, the 2 scouts in the background, they're CGI. These 2 are CGI models, and this guy is CGI right now. And he switches in this frame. If you notice here, he's still a CGI model in this one. And in the next frame, boom, he's 2D. But the other 2 guys are still CGI. Again, really flawless transition. Really, the only giveaway that it's even switching is the compression artifacts, and which I'll talk about later, and the hair. The hair is very stiff in 3D. And as soon as it switches to 2D, you can actually see like different shapes in the hair. And okay, the background guys also switch to 2D. Okay, it's not them switching to 2D, it's just other 2D characters coming in. And only all of that just to get kicked in the face by Reiner. And this is where I'll talk about compression artifacts. I've already talked about it in the past. Or maybe I'm getting deja vu, I don't know. But if you look at Reiner here, does not look very nice. Looks very out of place. The black lines, they're way too thick. And it really looks like 3D. The movements there are not bad, but the model looks ugly. Is this bad CG animation? No, it's not. What is this really? Why does it look bad? It's because of compression. They're using CGI models, and here Reiner is way far away from the camera. He's at a very large distance away from the camera. So since he's a very large distance away, but he's also still in CGI, they have to shrink his model to fit the perspective. And when they're shrinking the model, they're compressing the CGI model. And when you compress the CGI model, all of the detail, it's also getting compressed. And it looks like this. It really looks kind of ugly. And it stands out a lot as well. So how do you counteract this? Is it a bad thing? Not really. It's not really a bad thing because it exists because the model has a high level of detail. So when you look at crowd CGI in anime, you've probably noticed just how fucking bad it looks. Crowd CGI always looks really bad. And you need to really take a moment to think about why it is bad. And number 1, anime studios, they're not very good at CG. That's the main reason. And number 2 is because compression. Crowd CGI in anime is usually always placed at a great distance from the camera to hide the fact that it's CGI. It's just filler content in the background. For our peripheral vision, we are usually focusing on something else. So if the models had high detail, if they looked good, they would look bad. If the models had a high amount of detail, they would look good. But when they're placed far away from the camera, they would get compressed and they would really stand out and look bad. So in the case of crowd CGI, you have to make models of low detail so that they don't stand out. If it's 2D animation, you can just improvise the scene on spot. You can change the animation. You can just draw the scene with a lower amount of line work. You're not reusing drawings. That's why usually close-ups are more detailed. For example, I'll just use the first scene as an example. Yeah, here the eye detail is amazing, but in the next shot, the eye detail, it's not very amazing. It's just 1, 2, 3 colors. Here, it is a lot of colors and phasing. It's shifting in phases because this is a close-up shot and this is a far-away shot. With CGI, you can't do that. This model looks amazing up close, but it looks pretty bad when it's far away because all that detail is being compressed and you're reusing the same model. So to counteract this, one thing you can do is make 2 CGI models, one for close-up shots and one for far-away shots. But that would pretty much beat the purpose of using CGI and anime in the first place, which is to save time. Another thing they could do is animate the far-away shots in 2D, which they have done a couple of times, but here they just decided to just leave it 3D all the time, which is fine. But I just wanted to talk about how compression works in anime. There's another way to avoid compression, basically, and that is the ufotable technique. Of course, ufotable can do this because they are ufotable. They have such an insane level of coordination between all their staff members, including the 3D animators. So there, the CGI models is a perfect balance. They're detailed enough that they won't look awful. Sometimes they do look bad, like with a Tanjiro scene. Tanjiro's on a rooftop and the rooftop is rotating and Tanjiro just looks really weird. He looks like he belongs in a PS2 game. But yeah, again, there's a reason why it's low detail. It's to avoid compression. But most of the times, especially with ufotables crowds, it's balanced. It has enough detail that it does not look ugly, but it does not have too much detail such that it won't get compressed and look ugly. That is a perfect balance that you can only really get through trial and error, and ufotable can afford that trial and error. Another example of good crowd CGI is Kyoto Animation Any Work. They have really good crowd CGI. And another rare example that's not really all that well known is Miruko-chan. Miruko-chan has really good CGI, and the crowd CGI is stunning. And here the shading on the CGI is just so good. It does not even look like CGI half the time. Does it actually switch to 3D? Does it actually switch to 2D? No, it doesn't. Okay. It's just awesome CGI animation. So good. Really, really good CGI animation. And all of the close-up faces are really good in this episode, especially Magat's. Every shot with Magat in this episode is extremely good. Like here you can see the level of detail in his face. You can really tell the depth of the creases on his forehead and his eye bags. And yeah, that if that isn't a sign that he's gonna die, I don't know what is. A side character getting the high budget treatment, as normies would call it. Yeah, that's kind of a sign that they're probably gonna fucking die. And yeah, even the shot is really good. He looks nice. And Hanji always looks amazing, obviously. More shots with Magat that look really good. And here, it's a gamble. And that really ties things up together with Erwin. Erwin, after his death, split up into 2 portions. There's Hanji, who has some of Erwin's characteristics, of course. His other elements went into Floch. And Floch, I hated him before this episode, but after this episode, I really like Floch. I never thought I would like Floch, but I really do like Floch. I have come to respect him because, yeah, he fought for a cause, and he fought for that cause till the very end. So yeah, I mean, that's a respectable thing, no matter what it is. And you might antagonize him, but then you will think about what he says. And later in the episode, he says that if they stop Eren, that is it for Eldia. And you think about it and you're like, wait, that is true. He really isn't an antagonistic character. If you think he's a bad guy, then that is exactly what Isayama wants. It is the concept of being a devil that he introduced with Erwin and Floch, the entire situation. And Floch is being the devil right now for the betterment of his own people. He's not doing it because he's selfish. He truly believes that it's a just cause. And if following that just cause makes him a devil, so be it. He's prepared for that. That is his entire character arc. And that's good writing. Especially if you feel hatred towards Floch. If you think he's a bad person. Yeah, that's just good writing on Isayama's end. It is one of the very few examples of good writing post-Rumbling. But hey, any bit of good writing is good writing. And yeah, here Hanji's just taking a fucking gamble. In any case, we won't be taking off from here, blah, blah, blah. This is another really good example of the compression that I was talking about. Here in the Warhammer Titan's body, I might wanna pull it full screen so that you can really see it properly. Okay, yeah. So here in the Warhammer Titan's body, you can see all of these details, right? These just look like, they look like dots, especially on her back. All of these just look like dots. Are they actually dots though? No. Now you zoom in on it frame by frame, and you notice that those are not really dots. It's hatching. It's line work. And all of that line work is being compressed because the Warhammer Titan is placed further away from the camera. So that should give you a pretty good idea of what this compression is that I'm talking about. And if you want an even better example of compression, here it is. Like, I should have just waited and talked about this. Here, Reiner and Annie, they're moving. The movements look fine, but Reiner here looks pretty much black with very few gold elements. It just does not look very good. It looks extremely compressed, which it is. It is extremely compressed. So of course it looks compressed. And Annie's Titan form too does not look very good in this cut. And again, I really like the shot to give you a really good idea of the scale of this fight. The shot is really good. It's CGI. It's full CGI, right? Let me check. That guy gets kicked. Okay, let's check. Let's check this. Still CGI. He gets kicked. Okay. He switches to... Annie kicked him so hard that she kicked him into another dimension. He's CG here, and kick blurred out, and once the blur goes away, he's 2D. So he turns 2D after the kick. Also, I don't know why his body remains intact after the kick. I would think you just fucking get obliterated by getting kicked. But anyway, the main attraction of the scenes is that it reminds me of Arifumi Imai's scene from episode 24 of Attack on Titan Season 1. The same kind of rotation shot with the same character that is the female Titan. I'll put it up on screen right now. Of course, the scene in this episode is not nearly as impressive as this scene on your screen right now. This is absolutely fucking incredible work by Arifumi Imai. The rotation shot is just gorgeous. I don't know how you would even come up with this shit. I always say that with complicated sequences, but here I really have to say that because the sense of perspective that Arifumi Imai has, it's just crazy. The amount of work he's put in to just understand anatomy perfectly is just a ridiculous amount of work. He is a genius, but he's also definitely put in a lot of work for this. More CGI shots. Look at the detail, man. That is gorgeous CGI animation. Really good looking CGI animation. Eat this. Eat this. Again, the model looks very good. The movement in this cut, not bad. But the hair animation is very good, and then switches back to 2D. Annie's female Titan looks really good in this art style. She looked good in Witch Studios art style too, but there was a complete lack of line work, which here, no, it's all about line work. I wonder if that triggered some kind of PTSD when you see Mikasa flying towards you with an ODM gear, as Annie that is. And this is the only bit of clunky animation in this whole episode. Magat looks gorgeous, of course. Throughout this episode, as I said before. And again, this looks so fucking good. I really do think that these CGI models were made for close-ups. And that's why it looks kind of weird when they're placed far away from the camera. Because this has to be like the most detailed CGI model in any anime I've ever seen. It's a ridiculously high amount of detail and it looks gorgeous. Did they update his character model? Because this looks special. Yeah, this looks really impressive. God damn. But yeah, as I said before, really clunky running animation here. Who gives a shit? Just some engineers running. Floch is like, shoot them people, and Reiner protects them. First, they eat Mikasa's foot. Not a bad way to go. Hanji comes in, Hanji Beyblade. Some really cool blood animation. Floch with his quick thinking skills again. Kind of like Irwin. And these people with their stormtrooper aim. Gabi hits a moving target while he's in air. Floch is in air. And he hits him while he's moving at a great speed. At a great distance. And these guys can't hit one of these fucking guys who run like one of the fat activist people. And also, kind of weird that they just don't blast them with thunder spears. Just use one thunder spear and it would be over. But instead they just choose to shoot them with bullets. Kind of weird. Don't want to look into that. I'm just here to look up at the animation. And a shot of 2D Armor Titan here, right? Yeah, this shot is too complicated, I guess, to do in 3D. Because his mouth is opening, there's a lot of detail inside his mouth. They just animated this in 3D, or 2D. And this is CGI. Or not, this is also 2D. Sorry, but his model is so good that I just mistake it between 3D and 2D all the time, but this is definitely 2D. Some really awkward bits of ODM gear animations here and there, but they're on a tight production schedule, it's fine. This shot is super cool. And back to what I was talking about. Magat. Just look at this. What the fuck is that? 3-on-3 on air moving targets with a fucking rifle? Bolt action rifle. It's not like it's got a fucking scope on it. It's a pretty old school rifle. What is that fire rate as well? Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. That's physically impossible to recock the gun that quickly, but... Okay, fine. Really cool panning shot there. And I really like the level of detail in his face here. Just looks eerily realistic. And then gets squeezed by Annie. Also, not a bad way to die. Really cool shot. Mixes really well. Yeah, that's a very well mixed shot. If you look very closely, frame by frame, you'll see compositing errors. Like with her knee here. The way the thunder spears are attaching to her. Yeah, that does not really make much sense. Especially in motion. Just focus on her knee when she's getting hit by the thunder spears. Kinda looks awkward, but you won't see that in motion. So it's fine. Again, really cool explosion animation, it's always been. Here, everything is CGI, right? The background is CGI and it's very well done. This is a really good background shot. The CGI model that is. Any CGI good. This foreground guy is the only thing that's 2D here. And I actually think here that her hand is CGI. And the rest of her body is also CGI. So, yeah. Never mind. It's all full CGI. Still. But... I mean, look at that CGI model. Right? Ask anyone who does not already know that's a CGI model and they will struggle to tell you whether that's a CGI model or not. It really is that good. Again, a close-up of Magat that looks very good. I really like the shot. Again, the storyboards in this episode, very nice. Also a very good shot. And look how expressive her face is. They really worked super hard on the CGI in this season, and yeah, I'm grateful for it. Anything that they do, we should be grateful for, because this anime has no right to look this good at all. But yeah, I mean, it looks good because the staff is passionate and fucking overworked to death. But that's a different story. The eye shades really give an idea that it is a fucking dire situation. They're fighting against pretty much gods. Right? It's like you getting into MMA and then facing Khabib Nurmagomedov as your first opponent. That's what these people are feeling right now. They're going up against Mikasa, and not just Mikasa, they're going against Levi's squad. That's a big fucking deal. And they also consider them as heroes, so they don't really want to hurt them either. But they have to, it's choiceless. So some things never change. Some ideas, they're just good, so they just remain good. No matter how far the rest of the writing elements have deteriorated, this thing always remains good. Again, very good close-up. The line work sometimes just feels excessive, doesn't it? Like you look at this and go like, damn, does he really need all that line work? But it's a stylistic choice. They're trying to stay true to the manga art. It looks amazing. First of all, I need to get that out of the way. The line work, it looks great. But is it really worth that excessive amount of work? I don't think so. I really like the shot because Gabi's about to leave the same way Falco did, But to stop her, Pieck just raises her head. And that's just funny. And Gabi just tumbles backwards. The train comes. Oh my god, what are they gonna do? The train, there's so many extra people. There's no way they're gonna beat all the... Oh yeah. Really good way to build up anticipation. Seriously though, I just thought that was goofy when I saw it. It's really not good. They should have let that cook a little bit more. This is just introducing a problem and then that get resolved literally 5 seconds later. What are they gonna do? There are so many people that they need to kill now. There's nothing like that. There's more, it's just confusion, really, when the train explodes. You're like, what? That's it? This made me cringe super hard. The good cringe, not the bad cringe. Watching someone poke a nail into their palm, yeah, that should make you cringe. Again, this drawing, really good drawing. Looks like it's straight out of the manga, doesn't it? Really good drawing. And this is the shot. I think this is the scene. Alright, so yeah, this is it. It's a scene animated by Takashi Kojima. At least most of it is. There are some segments that is not by him, but most of it is. And maybe he did the layout for the whole segment too, I don't know. But he's the animator who worked on pretty much solo on the opening. So he's really fucking good here. He can't really spread his wings perfectly because he's probably restricted by the schedule, as I keep saying, but it's still a very cool cut, and it would have been the highlight of the entire episode if it wasn't for the two scenes with like Mikasa and Floch. Immediately really cool hair animation. Is that a CGI tower? No, that's just an illustration. It's not even shifting in perspective. Hard to notice without pausing, but yeah. And Connie just flies in. You now start seeing a really good bunch of very cool arcs. You'll see that with Q-Kawa's animation too, but here, the arcs are really cool. I really like this arc in particular. Look how twisted it is. His head is the furthest thing away from the camera, and his fist is the closest thing. So he's like this right now. And that's such a cool perspective shot. His ODM gear is also close to us, so is his ass. Nice. But it's just a really cool perspective shot, and just look at this. Such a cool arc. Really cool animation arc. It's very well storyboarded. And it just slices through that guy. And this is the scene that we're talking about where the compositing was not, it was iffy. So it's because the CGI is bad here. The background, it just doesn't look good. In the sense that the model itself is good. But this makes no sense from a physical point of view, because these windows, we know how big these windows are. We've seen it. Our brain has an idea of how big these windows are from the previous scenes. And now it just looks completely different because this is bigger than Connie. Like one window here is bigger than Connie, and the stone blocks are way too big with respect to Connie's model. And the same thing continues with the other background too. It doesn't look harmonious with the shot until here. Here Connie's close to the camera, so he obviously does look big. But the window also looks like it's a reasonable size. But yeah, the animation is amazing. CGI kind of iffy for this one segment, just this one segment. Yeah, it looks kind of awkward there, but otherwise, extremely good scene. And the coiling of the cable, again, reminds me of Arifumi Mai scene. I think it was season 3 part 2, the iconic Levi cut. Where Levi's cables are coiling, but he wants to increase his speed even further, so he pulls on the cables. What did he do there? Did he grab him with his thighs? Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that the first time I reviewed this. Frame by frame, I didn't realize that. So he opens up his legs here and then chokes him with his thighs. Not a bad way to go. Not a bad way to go. Umakoshi eye? Not really Umakoshi eye. Needs to be a little bit more distorted to be Umakoshi eye, but that face looks like it's straight out of Studio Trigger. Yeah, it looks like it's straight out of Studio Trigger. Does not belong in Attack on Titan. You won't see that in motion again, right? Yeah. Pretty much impossible to notice in motion, but when you do notice it in motion, the super exaggerated face actually adds to the experience because it lasts for like one frame, right? But him grabbing him with his thighs, kind of awkward. And he pierces it through him as well. Yeah, that's definitely Connie's foot. Okay, Connie fangirls are dying right now. I don't know if there are Connie fangirls, but boy, after this there will be. This scene is probably the one that's not animated by Takashi Kojima. A lot of blurring here because there's very little smears. And also this shot is very cool. Slice and dice, motherfuckers. She cut that guy's nape off. Did you see that? Yeah, he cut him in the nape like he's a titan. Why are you missing at point blank range? Then you get the close up and you see why they're missing. They're not really missing. She's dodging the bullets, isn't she? Yeah. That animation is so natural. I think it's Kojima animating again. Yeah, I can tell. And he shoots here. That should be impact, but she dodges. And she dodges again. That's really cool. She is actually reacting to the bullets like a person would. Really natural animation. And she clearly does not want to be there. He probably looks up to Mikasa and Jan, who just fucking blew her head off. Awesome. I love it. I love how MAPPA does not give a shit about censorship. They don't care about ghosting and they don't care about censorship. But there's two things that Witch Studios really cared about. That was the most extreme voice crack of the day. Another very cool cut. And they're talking about stopping the rumbling, but again, I don't really think they should because they don't really have a plan to protect their people otherwise. But it's genocide and genocide is bad. Otherwise, it's genocide of your people. So it's either your people or other people. But I guess the main characters here are just so nice that they have to risk their life to protect them. To have a chance at protecting them. Where are the bullets going? No impact there, right? Yeah. They just did not animate the impact. Or maybe he missed at that range against an enormous target. That's not hard to believe, really. Very expressive. Really good. Again, this cut, awesome. We start with the CGI roof. And the roof has really cool textures here. Beautiful textures. CGI Pieck, again, very good. These explosion effects are fucking gorgeous. Would you even call this a CGI cut? Because, yeah, the foreground and background is CGI. But the effects are pure 2D. And the debris, again, really good 2D. That is really, really good animation. So well done. And the composite is also very good. I really like this cut. One of my favorite cuts of this episode. Very well done cut. Absolutely gorgeous. And then they do the slow motion again. Oh, they're not following her. They're trying to kill her. Totally forgot about that. Why are they not trying to kill Connie? Bruh. Cool close-up. Cool shot again. Throw Falco into the mix. And Falco's Titan has talons and a beak. Because, you know, Falco. So he looks like a falcon. Fucking awkward. But this is a prediction. If it's true, then it's just proof that the writing is deteriorating. And yeah, the theory is that his Titan is gonna grow wings. The reason is that because he's a bird, so he needs to grow wings. And another thing is because it's briefly mentioned. I think it was mentioned by Megat or just another one of the generals in Marley. They were like in a meeting and there was no roof. I think it was episode 2 of Final Season Part 1. And they were talking about, if only we had a Titan that could fly. And that is foreshadowing for when Falco will grow wings. Hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But the way the story is structured and the poor writing quality that we have currently really tells me that that actually might happen. Unless, of course, everything here is being done by Eren. everything here is being decided by Eren. In which case, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. If Eren is just deciding, yeah, I want Falco to grow wings, because he can do that. He can use the Founder's ability to do that. We know that. So yeah. So plot points that I don't understand yet are how these Titans can still transform at all, because when they are transforming, their Titan bodies are made up by Ymir in the other world, and we don't even know where Ymir is currently. I thought Eren freed Ymir. So how does that work, really? And the second point is that Eren did not reverse the Titanization of Pixies and all of the other scout members and military members in episode 6, I think, of Final Season Part 2. And that was kind of weird, because he can use the ability, but he didn't, and they never explained why that is. So I think all of those answers we'll be getting in the next episode, which I'll react to because it's the finale. But yeah, if that is the case, then I'm fine with it. But if he's just gonna grow wings for the sake of growing wings, nah, man, that's not really cool. Also, he has pointy ears, like all of the Attack Titans. So maybe that's telling something. None of the other Titans have pointy ears, right? Why are they doing this split thing with Connie so much? Do they really want to show off Connie's thighs and cock so much? I mean, I like it. No homo. Another pretty cool cut. They don't even show her cutting them. They just fucking get cut. And we are the Q-Kawa segment. Q-Kawa, one of the main animators in Mushoku Tensei, says a lot because Mushoku Tensei is pretty much full Sakuga, except for season part 2. Part 2 of the season, not very impressive. It's still impressive. I just used the wrong words. It's very impressive, but it's not S tier. It's like A+ tier. A tier, not A+ tier. Because there are episodes that just don't look very good, but there are other episodes that look absolutely incredible, like the confrontation episode with the Dragon God. I don't know, I forgot the name. Orsted. Yeah, Orsted is the name. Yeah. That episode, Q-Kawa animated in that episode, and this is the scene that he animated. He seems like he takes inspiration from Nakamura, but then again, all animators take inspiration from Nakamura. But his style of really tight choreography really reminds me of old school Nakamura, and this cut also reminds me of some Nakamura techniques, especially the background animation. The background animation in this cut is incredible, and Attack on Titan has never really had all that much background animation, because Wit Studios was so good. Studio Madbox, really. They were the one making the CGI backgrounds, and the CGI backgrounds were composited very well by Studio Asahi. So the overall product for first 3 seasons, it was so good that you never really needed 2D background animation. You could always substitute it with 3D background animation. But here, they gave full freedom to the animators, I'm assuming. And is that 3D? Wait a minute, that's 3D, right? Are those roof panels CGI? Oh, there are CGI roof panels here that are mixed in with the regular rubble. That's dope. I want to check that again, just to make sure. See, what's that emotion? Yeah, those are definitely CGI debris. So there's CGI debris mixed with 2D debris. And now getting into the animation itself. Look at that level of detail. And it moves. And it moves really well. That is so good. These character designs are not easy to draw. They have so much detail. And Q-Kawa was able to make it move. God damn, son. Are you talented? Fucking incredible. Love the wind animation too. So impressive. Really impressive animation. The movement also very unique and really well done. That is so good. Every single one of these drawings are really well done. The character design for the Titan itself, by the way, absolutely incredible. Isayama. And close-up on Floch is also very good. Before you blame the compositing for the blur used here, don't. Because this blurring is part of Q-Kawa's technique. He adds blur on top of his own smears. He also did this with Mushoku Tensei. I'll show an example here. As you can see, there are his smears, but there's also blur on top of his smears. So this is just Q-Kawa's technique. it's not the compositing artist. At least I'm guessing it's not the compositing artist that made the decision to blur this out. This shot, this is what you call an umakoshi eye, a technique developed by Yoshihiko Umakoshi, where an eye is either used as a means for transition from scene to scene, or it's just used because it looks fucking cool. So it needs to be very close to the camera, and it needs to be distorted. And this is pretty much it. It's close to the camera and it's distorted. You'll see another example of umakoshi eye in the same sequence. So there's that. And here the background animation just shines. The shot here fucking amazing. I love the thick lines that he uses with the smears. Really good. And look at that, the way the cables are coming in. Just cables are coming in from us. It's like we are gonna go attack Floch. That is so cool. And it's Hanji. Really good arcs. As I was talking about, really good arcs. But yeah, as you can see here, just the sense of perspective here, on point. Look at this arc here, so exaggerated, so good looking. Again, some extremely unique arcs here. It's so well storyboarded. Another example of umakoshi eye right here. Distorted eye that's very close to the camera. So expressive. So expressive. I love the exaggerated expressions. Yeah, the exaggerated expressions are really so good. He kicks. Does he knock her blade away? Let's check this out. Yeah, he knocks her blade away. And then he fucking kicks her. Watch how they put her close to the camera now. Right now, Hanji is pretty far away from the camera, but you need the kick to feel more powerful. So you could make it feel powerful by just Floch kicking Floch's foot traveling towards Hanji, or you could make it look even more powerful by having Hanji move towards Floch and Floch's foot move towards Hanji. Because if you do this, yeah, it's fast. But if you do this, it's faster. As you can see here, Hanji is brought closer to the camera just to receive the kick. And then she just gets blown away. And Falco's Titan is just turning around now. The consistency is there with the situation that he's animating right now. And Hanji is super lucky to be alive here, because we know Falco was out of control. So she's lucky that she didn't turn to bird food. Again, really cool exaggerated poses. Look at this arc. Look at this arc here. Look at this. Look at this. That is so good. His gun is like covering a good 20% of the screen, and it's bigger than every single other element in this on the screen because it's so far forward. And the background animation is incredible. Look at this, man. Oh man. Again, the thick line work that he's using on the smears really look good. Usually you want to hide your smears, right? Or like for the sake of the normies, you don't want them to see smears. Otherwise, if they see smears, they'll pause the scene and they'll just post it on social media and say, oh, the animation is so bad. Look at how bad this looks. But so you want to hide your smears ideally, but yeah, he doesn't care about that. He's just using beautiful animation techniques and it just looks gorgeous. Again, really cool arc here with Floch's foot, and the overall pose is amazing. He throws his thunder spear at her. Gorgeous impact frame. It's only one impact frame, right? Okay, it's one impact frame that's held for 2 frames. 1, 2. Okay. I need to check if I see that in motion. I'm pretty sure I did see that in motion for the first time. Again, an amazing flipping motion here that's made with what? 1, 2, 4 drawings, and he made like a somersaulting sequence. That's really dope. Again, background animation, awesome. Flips that. The somersaulting animation really looks good. Isn't that what you call it? Is that actually somersaulting, or am I just talking dumb shit right now? Okay, it's more like a back flip. So yeah, he's just doing a air black flip. backflip here. And the way Pieck's Titan emerges from the... that is scary as fuck. The way the smoke dissolves around her and she emerges from it, it reminds me of Levi vs. Beast Titan. Look at that. Just goes whoosh, and in the center lies Pieck, and her tongue is like, oh, no, Pieck. Floch is friend, not food. Where have I heard that? Where's that reference from? Fuck, where's that reference from? What is the original? Fish are friend, not food, right? Yeah. Is it Shark Tale? No, it's Finding Nemo. Yeah, Finding Nemo. Can't believe I forgot that. Good cape animation. Look at this detail. This is so well drawn. Blood effects, awesome. Eye detail, fucking ridiculous. It's still Q-Kawa animating, I think. Yep. The eye smear gave it away. Dope ass shot. Really, really well animated. One of the best animated scenes in the fucking show. Gorgeous. It really is one of the best animated scenes of the fucking show. And I'm not talking just about the final season either. It's one of the best animated scenes in Attack on Titan. Crazy, man. I wonder how old he is. I know he's from Taiwan. Birth 1999. He is 23 years old. Oh my god, he's a year older than me. He's only 1 year older than me. He was my age when he was working on Mushoku Tensei. That's depressing. That is super depressing. Fucking insanely talented boys, man. So good. Boys, why am I calling him boy? He's a man. And he's older than me, so hey. Damn, these hyper talented people just come out of nowhere. The amount of work that he's put in, and he's only gonna get better. He's 23 years old and he's this good. He's only gonna get better from here. He's gonna be a monster in the future. He's gonna be a star animator. I can't wait for it to get better. I totally missed out the multiples here. Yeah, really cool multiples. Here, the second multiple is just a smear. But here, there are 2 wires on your screen right now. An extreme case of multiples. In motion, that looks dope. Such a cool scene. I could watch this all day, man. Really, really gorgeous. Next scene is Gabi's aimbot. This is also really well animated. I don't know who animated this. At the time of recording, I don't really want to look at Sakugaboro right now. But I'll put this here on who animated the scene. It looks good. And the drawings are still great. Really high detailed. Just dissolves into his eye, the scene. Yeah. And Gabi pulls the fucking trigger, hits the shot. Really beautiful effects. Gorgeous looking effects. I was very confused when I first saw that. I thought they hit the oil area or something, but then I just realized that it's just filled with blood. It's just bloody water. And yeah, the expression of disappointment. You can really tell that he doesn't care about dying here. He's just sad that he couldn't fulfill his mission. And that's what I respect. Fucking badass Floch, man. I really, really like his character now. I never thought I would say that. Can you imagine that when you first saw him? Back in season 3, when he was just acting like a smart ass. Everyone hated Floch. Everyone maybe still hates Floch. I fucking love him. Such a cool character. Isayama does a very good job at introducing characters who you feel are completely irrelevant to the grand scheme of things, but then they become such incredible, important core components. It's crazy how he does that. It's amazing. Also, Ashes on the Fire never gets old. This song will never get old. I want this to play in my funeral. That would probably wake me up, really. And this short, this scene, Mikasa sequence, is animated by an animator named Malcolm Wope. The scene is amazing, and it's also his best scene in anime ever. I'm not exaggerating. This is Malcolm Wope's best work in anime ever. And no arguments. It's not a subjective. This is objectively Malcolm Wope's best scene in anime ever. Because this is his only scene in anime ever. This is the first time he's ever worked in official anime. And he animated something that is this impressive. I am jealous, yes, of these hyper talented people, but then again, I know the amount of work that you need to put in to get to this level, so I'm not really jealous, because what is there to be jealous of? It's not their talent that I need to be jealous of, it's their work ethic and just dedication to the art. The sequence is very well animated. The blood just gushing through his body, really cool. The effects, I think he specializes in effects animation. Yeah, those effects are really gorgeous. I don't know if you noticed this, but look at the guy, alright? Look at the guy. Only look at the guy, don't look at Mikasa at all. Did you see that? He just fucking disappeared. Pop. If I go frame by frame, you'll really be able to tell that. Pop. He's no longer there. So that's a little bit of a jump to go from this to this. It's an animation error that I think they might fix in the Blu-ray. Also, the man in the background, he looks like he's 60 years old. The fuck are you doing here, old man? Just go home. Maybe he's just looking for a good place to die, like Pixies always says. He won't mind dying if it's like a beautiful female titan. And yeah, maybe he's looking for that. Maybe he's looking for that from Mikasa's hand. A little bit of an animation error, fine. Another instance of gorgeous background animation. You can really sense that Mikasa's moving at a really fast speed forward, even though she's completely kept in the middle of the frame. And that is because the background, the platform that she's on, has line work that's going backward really fast. So that gives a sense of forward momentum. Really good looking animation. Again, beautiful blood animation. You're like... you need to be quicker than that if you want to fight Mikasa. Or just throw away your gun. Floch is dead. Fuck it. And yeah, internal bleeding immediately. Gorgeous animation, man. Close-up of the eye to begin the scene. That's pretty cool, that they start with the close-up of the eye. Usually it ends with the close-up of the eye, but you can do either. This looks dope. Again, the blood animation is awesome. A little bit of overkill, and also nice. The person who storyboarded this episode, I don't know who the episode director is. I need to look it up. Okay, it's not one episode director, as always, because they're on a tight schedule. They have multiple episode directors, multiple animation directors for every episode. But whoever's decision it was to make so many shots with this pose, they need a fucking raise. Because boy, POV, Mikasa's about to fucking kill you. Really not a bad way to go. Really one of the best ways to die. Oh, it keeps going. It keeps going till here. But then she slices his head off. Damn it. Missed the opportunity to choke his head with her thighs like a watermelon and then crush it. How did she tie him up so quickly? Look at that blood animation. So good. I also love his smears. His smears are excellent. His background animation is excellent. His effects animation is excellent. And his expressions, his character acting is excellent. So we have another master of all trades at our hands. Another animator. And this is his debut work in anime. He's worked in stuff like Apex Legends promos, Valorant promos, and he worked in a Witcher movie. There was an animated movie of Witcher. I didn't even know that. But yeah, that's the shows that he's worked on before. So he has done professional work before, but this is his first time in anime. It looks amazing. I can't wait to see more from him. He'll probably animate in Chainsaw Man because literally everyone is animating in Chainsaw Man. So also another cool cut. Because it's just running away. Why does it look so good? I love this scene, man. So well animated. Second favorite scene from this episode. First, my favorite is definitely Floch scene. And second favorite, it's between this and the scene where Pieck's Titan with the explosions. I think I prefer this one because it's 2D animation, right? But the Pieck's Titan, it's also very good. And though it's CGI, the fucking explosions, beautiful effects animation. And another beautiful effects animation shot with the raining blood, just so fucking badass. Oh my god, she looked at the camera. I hate this episode now. Awful shot. This episode sucks. MAPPA sucks. Attack on Titan is terrible. Go watch Monster. That is the only well-written anime ever made. No, man. No. It's just... First of all, I don't know what's cringy about this shot at all. And secondly, if you do find it cringy, I don't see how this one shot ruins the entire episode. If that actually is how your brain works, then I feel bad for you. I think this is also animated by him. I really like how natural these movements feel. Yeah, there are no smears, right? No smears in that. It's just bouncy animation. The Mikasa scene here was also... Yeah, the way she moves just feels bouncy and natural. I really like that. Is there anything else to talk about? Yeah, the debris animation is cool. Smoke animation is cool. And Falco has the right idea in Titan form. He's doing to Pieck what all of us want to do with Pieck. I'm sorry. Another really cool cut, right? Just even the tiny cuts look good. Cut of Mikasa walking. Cool, I guess. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. It's 1:30 AM. How does time work? Me no understand. And again, you can see the compression and good work here. I don't even know. I don't even understand what's going on here. And here it's just Annie's Titan and Reiner's Titan and compressed to shit, basically. I can only really see the one ship here. Where did the other ship come from? The Marleyan ship. Where did that come from? Shadows, entries, and... Was it there? No, right? Because you get an overview of the whole field here. And there's no ship here. What at the beginning of the episode? Okay, there is a ship there. Okay, there's a second ship. I see it. So, but then why can't we see it here? Aren't we supposed to see it here? Wait, where is it? Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to see it at the corner here, at least. But I guess it's just not there. A little bit of inconsistency that literally no one would notice, so it's fine. Again, very good blood effects. Not that. This. That's very good blood effects. Probably Satoshi Sakai, right? I'd assume that's Sakai. Probably. The crazy level of particle animation. Probably Sakai's blood effects. Yes, it's faster to catch the ship. So we have to sink the ship. If only we had thunder spears to blow the ship up. No, we have to blow it up from the inside. I don't know, man. I don't really understand this. Fuck it. Let's move on. Really like the character arc for Shadis. And I also love the character name puns here. Because Shadis, from the shadows, he's always worked from the shadows. He's got to be the hero, but no one really knows him. He's the untold hero of the story. And Magat, the meaning of Magat is great. And it's an Indian word, that's why I know it. Just kidding, I didn't know what Magat meant. I'm just Indian, but I don't know all the fucking million languages that India has. Maybe Magat is Sanskrit. Anyway, Magat is, it means great. And you'll see throughout the show, Magat has always chased greatness. Like the first shot against the Attack Titan when Eren attacked, he fired the shot and he said, "Don't forget, people, I'm the one who started the attack." So he's always someone who's chased greatness. Even here in his final moments, he says that you're gonna be a hero. And yeah, the two contrasting personalities here. Magat always chased greatness and he dies a hero. Shadis always works from the shadows and he dies in the shadows. But the two contrasting characters of the two people who trained opposing forces. My heart was moved because the very first thing that Shada says about Annie is that she's not a team worker. She has a very bad time working with the team, and yeah, now she's working with the team. Commanded them to destroy the wall. That's totally fine. But I finally realized if those kids can live a normal life, how happy that would make me. Okay, yeah, that's actually fine. But then why did you treat John like shit? Literally a couple of episodes ago, right? You treated John like shit. And then an episode later, you apologized to him. And the only thing that happened in between that is him looking at Gabi and saying, Gabi. I said that's somehow supposed to change shit. And I really like how Zeke is still in the picture. So that makes a lot of sense when he was extremely harsh with Zeke. It's because he's harsh because he has a reason to be harsh. He does not want Zeke to be a warrior. He sees Zeke as a weak-minded kid. And that's exactly what he is. He shouldn't be given like titan abilities to murder civilians. That Zeke should not be doing that. And we know that it affects Zeke greatly to kill people. That's why he has like this twisted nature where he forces himself to enjoy killing. And Magat did not want Zeke to be a killer. And that's why he did this. So Magat's character, it's really well written, but the one thing that ruins it is the way he talks to John 2 episodes ago. It's like he's trying to assert dominance by just spouting nonsense, which it makes no sense. He acts like a kid, but then he says that he feels like he's talking to a kid. He calls John a kid when he's the one who's acting like a fucking brat. That's the only awkward part. Otherwise, I kind of like Magat's character. It's really well written, but extremely inconsistent with that one episode, where they just sit around and eat Hanji's special stew. This sequence is very well storyboarded again. Boom, explosion. Only the music, no sound effects. Just let that sink in. And they just think Magat is dead. They don't know that Shadows is dead. That just adds to the scene, really. And the post-credit scene, nothing really special about it, except the really well-drawn scenes. Damn, this is really good drawing. Also, nice. I wanted them to kiss here, but that would kind of ruin the scene because it makes no sense. It really makes no sense for them to kiss here. But I would be totally fine with it. I would be able to overlook it if I just got to see it. But hey, Doujin artists, they'll do the job for me. I will be fapping to Mikasa x Annie hentai tonight. Yeah, this whole post-credit scene is really well drawn. And there's the fucking bird. The bird is still there. And it's a CGI bird, right? Yeah, CGI bird. Pretty cool. That's the entire episode broken down by Lemoy. Very good animation, pretty decent compositing, not the best compositing ever, but hey, what we come to expect from Attack on Titan the final season. I really enjoyed the episode, so whoever recommended me to react to it, nice recommendation. And if you recommend stuff to me, I'll watch it, by the way. I never really said it, but I'll do it. One guy recommended watching Gar the animation, and I'm watching it currently. I'm not reacting to it because I don't really want to waste time making reaction videos. But it's really good. It's actually a very good show. Similarly, if you just recommend watch this, I'll probably watch it. I'll look at the reviews first to just make sure you're not trolling. You know, the Boku no Pico meme. Watch Boku no Pico, it's really good. Of course, I'm way past that because I'm like level 99 otaku. So, but still, there are some really niche shows like Diabolical Lovers. I'm sure half of you haven't heard that. And if I say Diabolical Lovers has awesome animation, you should watch it. It also has a very good story. You'll probably watch it only to find out that it's dog shit. But yeah, you get the point. If you recommend good shows to me, I'll probably watch it. And if you recommend that reaction, and if you tell me to make reaction videos of it, I'll probably do it like I did with this episode. And I'll make the next one too. I think it's episode 12. And it comes next week, not this week. Or wait, next to next week. Not next week, I should say. So yeah, that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you want to see more of it, then I have a whole playlist worth of anime content. And I'll be making more anime content in the future. To subscribe if you want to watch more of it and you don't want to miss it. If you did not like this video, then leave a dislike and tell me down in the comment section on how I can improve. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for the views.